This is the HexForce G1 Smart Fingerprint Padlock, and it has an app in the App Store and the Google Play Store, and it's delivered with sustainably recycled packaging. So I was sent this guy for review for free. If you wanted to purchase it, it would cost you about $80. They haven't paid me for the review, and my opinions remain my own. So in the packaging, we get the lock itself. We have a Phillips screwdriver for accessing these things here. And we have this guy, which I believe is the USB security key. So this is a hardware key that can be used if you take those things off to unlock the lock. There's also a USB A to C power supply. So this guy has a battery in it, and if the battery runs down, you can take this off and just plug it into a power bank and power it with a power bank to get it to open. Now, ideally, they want you to install the app and manage everything with the app, but it does say that using the USB key, you can program fingerprints and set up it to work without using a phone app at all. So I'm going to try that first. All right, so out of the box, it comes unlocked, and now it is locked. Whoop. So it looks like when it's reset, it will unlock with any press. So you just press on it, and the green light flashes. I heard a little noise, and it popped in place. So if we want to set this up to have our fingerprints, I believe we're going to have to put the key in. But let me just say here, it says press and hold fingerprint sensor for about 5 seconds until the blue light turns on. So let's see if we can do that without putting the key in. So it looks like the only thing that happens is it unlocks. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. Yeah, so it just locked and unlocked there. All right, so let's take the screws out. So these are anti-loss screws, so they stay in the cover. The cover, I believe, is aluminum alloy. There's also a big rubber gasket in here to kind of seal that thing. When those screws put it in, it kind of just pushes it against the thing. So you can see in here there's a pre-installed CR2 battery. They say it'll last up to 18 months in power saver mode if you unlock it 5 times a day. There's also the USB port, which is the backup power supply. You know, you plug a USB cable of any type, just a 5-volt USB-C cable in, and it will power this guy up. So let's try putting the hardware key in. And it unlocked automatically by putting the key in. And now we're going to push and hold for 5 seconds. So it says we're supposed to wait for a blue light. All I see is a green light. Oh, we have a blue light up here. So now we put our finger on it a couple of different times in a couple of different orientations, and the light keeps flashing blue, and we do this until we get a green light. So supposedly our finger will now unlock this guy. So I'm going to take the key out. It's locked. My finger unlocked it. Of course, that doesn't say anything because that was what was happening before. But let's try a different finger. Okay, we got a red light there. So fingers that I have not registered are not unlocking it. The finger I did register is unlocking it. And it stays unlocked for a couple of seconds. I'm going to do a weird angle. So I didn't train it at a full 90 degrees. I did kind of like this. So it does kind of allow the finger to rotate a bit. Let me try a full 180. Yeah, that worked as well. So the sensor's pretty good. It will detect, rotations, so you can basically, unlock it from any orientation there. Okay, so you can program this for a fingerprint without using a phone app. Let's try that again. I want to do a different finger, so I'm going to do one on my other hand. So I'm going to push and hold. There, we got a blue light. So we'll do a finger from the other hand. And I don't think it's important that you spin the lock around quite as much as I'm doing here, because it did seem to handle rotations just fine. Okay, we have a green light. So, thumbprint, doesn't open it. New finger, opens it. Try a weird angle that I hadn't programmed before, opens it. Okay, so I think you can program something like 40 different fingers in here. I'm not going to try more than 2 because I figure that's enough, but it's perfectly usable without a phone app. Now, I don't know if there's any way to delete the fingerprints that are in there without using the phone app. Okay, we have removed the battery. So obviously, without a battery, the lock is dead. But if you have a screwdriver and can unscrew those 2 screws on the bottom, they're just a Phillips screws, it's not like it's a security bit. You can plug a USB power bank into this guy. And now, supposedly, oh, I got a red light there. And you can unlock it with your fingerprint. All right, so USB power supply backup jump start works correctly. I'm going to put the battery back inside. All right, battery's in. Still working with the battery. Okay, hard reset. So this will remove all the fingerprints using just the USB key. So we insert the USB key. We press and hold the fingerprint sensor for 10 seconds until the red light flashes. 4, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1009. We have a blue light. There's the red light flashing. Okay, so the red light was flashing. Red light pulses 3 times, then stays on 1 second. Hard reset complete. All right, so it says after a hard reset, any finger will open this guy. So ones I haven't programmed in, just any finger opens it. So that's how you reset it. So this thing is perfectly usable without a phone app. You can program fingers, you can delete all the fingers. I don't think there's going to be a way you can choose to delete one fingerprint without the phone app. So if you want to give somebody temporary access, you can, but then you're going to have to delete everybody and add everybody back in, and obviously they have to be there with their fingers to add them back in. So let's set up the phone app. All right, the app is 26 megabytes, and when you open it up, you have to create an account if you don't already have a HexForce account. So you give them your email, you make up a password, they send you a code to your email, you type the code in, and then we're welcome to the app. Click this button to add a new device. So, get started, padlock G1. We have to touch the fingerprint pad to wake up the padlock, and then it found it, and we can name the lock. I'm just going to call it G1 because it's the only smart fingerprint padlock I have right now. If you had Mini, you could name it Shed or something else. So, do you want to enable energy saving mode? So the padlock will operate in power saving mode to maximize battery life. It will not remain awake, meaning you need to touch the fingerprint sensor to wake it up before accessing the log or unlocking remotely via the app. So I have no problem touching the fingerprint sensor to wake it up, so I'm going to enable the battery saving mode. So there we are. There's the lock, and it has no data, and we can do things in the app with it now. So they have some features you can enable: a strong impact alarm, a high temperature alarm, and an email notification. I'm assuming this only works if your phone is near enough to the lock for the lock to communicate with your phone. So it says, hey, it's at 100% battery. There's this person and key icon. You can either do Bluetooth access management or fingerprint. So I'm going to hit plus to add my first fingerprint. And you can say, hey, make a permanent fingerprint that unlocks anytime, or a duration. So you can create a fingerprint in here that only works for a certain amount of time. So you can let somebody access this lock remotely. So if they download the HexForce app, you can copy a code and send the code to them, and then they can use the app to unlock the lock. All right, we're going to try to enter a permanent fingerprint. and just tap this thing to fill up the circle, as they say. Okay. So supposedly my fingerprint will be able to open the lock now. All right, that works. All right, so I've been testing this thing with fingerprints that don't work, and my phone, when it gets close enough to it, pops up these red alarm messages saying, hey, somebody's been trying to get into your padlock, that the fingerprint didn't work, and fingerprint attempt at these various times. And you can delete logs with the delete button. You can say delete all the logs, hit delete, and then they're all gone. So I'm having trouble with the access type that's a duration. I've set it like from to, today at 9 a.m. to in the future 2 years at 6 p.m. And I did time repeat every day, and I have a thumb and a small fingerprint in there, but neither one of my fingers is working. It just gives me a red message. So the fingerprint sensor works, but this, set a certain time and date and have it work at certain times and days is not working. So it is possible just to push the button in the app and unlock it via Bluetooth. So you can give somebody else a permission to use just the app without using their fingerprint at all. So if somebody doesn't want to put their fingerprint in, they can unlock it with just the app on the phone. All right, so the basic functionality works. You can put a user in, they can have multiple fingerprints. You can unlock it with the app. It does a log of when people open it up. So if somebody opens it correctly, then when you sync to the lock, you can see in the log, hey, look, Jay unlocked it via fingerprint at this time. And the time showing there is the correct time according to my phone's clock. So the limited activation, where you can give people time-based access or day-based access, is not appearing to work. So you can record multiple fingerprints for the same user. So I've done my right and left thumb and pointer finger. The kind of annoying thing is the very first fingerprint you record is called fingerprint 1, and you can't edit that. You can't give it a name, and you can't change it or delete it or anything like that. So basically, you can name all but the very first fingerprint that you put in. All right, this fingerprint sensor works really well as long as, if you just do it at the edge, it may not get your finger. But if you fully put your finger on it, any orientation, it recognizes and unlocks. I've never had it not recognize a fingerprint when I thought it should from, properly orienting the fingerprint. So what happens if your finger is wet? Does it still work? And the answer is, like many capacitive fingerprint readers, not so much. So the lock is wet. I'm going to use a dry thumb, but the lock is wet. Still not working. So we're going to dry the lock off, and then I'll use my other thumb here, and that works. So like many capacitive fingerprint sensors, if the sensor or your finger gets wet, that water kind of makes a film that fills in all the grooves and it can't detect them. So you probably don't want to use this in a super wet environment, or you're going to have to be drying it off before you get it open. Alternatively, you could get your phone out, stand there in the rain, hit the button on your phone to open it with Bluetooth. If the energy saving mode's on, you'd have to trigger it by pushing your finger on it so it wakes up the Bluetooth, and then go in and unlock it with your phone. All right, security, how good is it? I have no idea if they're using proper encryption between the app and the lock. I'm assuming the fingerprint sensors, there's probably the highest security bit of this lock. Physically, it feels pretty sturdy. I expect it's at least as strong as a master lock. Now, if you've seen people defeat master locks online, you know that's not high praise. I wouldn't use this in anything that requires, super high security usages, but I'd say anywhere where you'd put a cheap master lock on, I think this guy's at least as good as a cheap master lock. All right, the lock hardware seems to work fine. The app does fine for adding fingerprints, removing fingerprints. I could not get the limited duration or limited time access to work for me. So that might be fixed with a app update. There's also the ability for the application to update the firmware on the lock. So it's potentially that could be fixed in software.